what the Filipino people needs to understand, and this is my message to them as an American looking outside in, we are not, we don't care for Philippines. We don't care defending the Philippines or any other country. What we care about is selling weapons.
Mm.
So to us, if there are more tensions, it's better for our they make the military industrial complex in the US. We'll make more money on that.
I think they're trying to play with words here because
Yeah.
there's already the presence of the Typhoon missile system in my country. But now, of course, there are opposition to it, and we're saying even I am opposed to it, and I'm saying that it should be removed by the Americans because it's supposed to be a temporary deployment during the Balikatan exercises. It should not be
Yeah.
and it's like there's no definite date when it would be removed, so there are oppositions to it. So probably right now they're trying to play with words and saying that we would want to acquire that kind of capability, and actually it's already there, and they're just saying that we want to acquire by buying or looking for that kind of
Yeah.
military capability. But the question, David, is it necessary for the Philippines to acquire this kind of system? Would it be would it be legal in terms of compliance with international law? Second is, would it would it be good for the region?
Yeah.
Would the other countries in the Asia Pacific react to it? Of course, other countries will react. It could provoke an arms race, unnecessary arms race in the region, in the Asia Pacific region, and even Southeast Asia. Second is it could escalate tension between the Philippines and China. Recently, China made statement against this, and China is opposed to this, really. And even Russia again is opposed to this. And other countries in ASEAN, I don't think they're happy because as far as ASEAN is concerned, it's supposed to be a demilitarized region.
Yeah.
That is really the objective of why you have the SOFAN, Zone of Peace and Stability, because ASEAN countries and ASEAN as a region, we would want it to be demilitarized. If you acquire this kind of missile system, or Americans are deploying and prepositioning military assets like this in my country, and we're part of ASEAN, we're part of Southeast Asia, then that concept of a demilitarized ASEAN region is not there anymore. And then what will happen? Other countries would also do the same.
Yeah.
They will also acquire weapons of the same capability, precisely because they would have that kind of perception that maybe it will be used against us by this country. So we need to protect ourselves. So it's not really a deterrence. It's an offensive strategy as far as I'm concerned. With this kind of
Yeah.
moves from our current government, being well, the president is Marcos Jr. So this is really not. This is a step, really, but that probably other people would say that it would capacitate our military, it will strengthen our military, but I don't see it as a positive one vis-a-vis the
Yeah.
region, and in what's the implication of this with regard to other countries in the region. I don't think other countries in the region, the broader Asia Pacific region, will be very happy about this. This is like a prelude to a second 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis.
Oh,
I think, no, this is some kind of a prelude to it, and I don't think this is good for the region as a whole. I don't want my region to have the same kind of problem what's going on in Ukraine and what's going on even in Gaza and in the Middle East at the moment. I hope this Asia Pacific region would be able to maintain its relative peace and stability. But with this kind of moves coming from the Philippines, I think it's provoking some kind of an escalation of tension, especially with
yeah.
China. Because China, just I think yesterday, China made statement against this pronouncement of the armed forces of the Philippines, that they would
Hmm.
want to acquire that kind of military capability or missile system that has 200 nautical miles. That's beyond 12 nautical
Beyond.
miles.
True.
So I don't know. What do you think of this, David? Do you think it's good for us? Do you think it's necessary given our limited budget? We have a very limited budget. We're deficit. We have a lot of domestic problems when it comes to the economy, when it comes to finance. I mean, we even in for the 2025 national budget, we have zero for our health insurance, public health
Wow.
insurance. Imagine that. There's no budget for our public health insurance, and you would want to acquire, this is very expensive to maintain this kind of military assets, given our economy, given our financial capability, and which is not good. Do you really
Yeah.
think we can afford this? This is really an issue of what to prioritize. Would you prioritize this because you're being pressured by by an external force or a foreign country or a superpower,
Yeah.
over what? Social welfare, that education, health, food necessities, all the basic goods that we need, all the basic necessities that Filipino needs? Or would you want to acquire that kind of missile system that is so expensive and so hard to maintain? And you need a lot of financing to maintain it. And even to acquire how you feed the missile for that system. You know, these are realities that is going on. So I really hope that there will be a recalibration of this kind of policy, because this is not a positive step as far as the Philippines is concerned. The more we will be dragged into the geopolitical rivalry between the United States and
And
China,
China.
the more that we will be involved in this kind of competition, by which a small country like ours, we should not get involved. We should have a neutral position, an independent foreign policy, and as much as possible be neutral among all these geopolitical maneuverings. But it seems that the current administration of Marcos Jr. don't understand geopolitics in that sense, or international relation for that matter. Instead of trying to, fix its relationship with China, it's getting worse at the moment. So that is crazy. You cannot have, in geopolitics, you're a security expert, you're a geopolitical expert, David. You cannot change the fact that our neighbor is China. Across time, even hundreds of years from now, thousands of years from now, unless there will be a tectonic,
Yeah.
movement of plates,
Yeah.
our neighbor will always be China. And if that is the case, you need to have good relation with your neighbors. You cannot have that adversarial relationship with a neighbor like big as China and powerful as
Yeah.
China. And we're just a very small country with a lot of domestic problems, and we are facing a lot of challenges as a country, even with our politics. So how come that they don't understand this, the current administration, and they're pushing the country to the brink of a war, or the brink of a catastrophe against
Yeah.
major powers in the region and even in the world right now. So this is crazy.
Well, indeed, Anna, you brought in a good point as far as especially the cost of such system, because just for those you guys in the community, I'm sure you know how these things work. When you sell a system like that, you sell with it, you sell the maintenance, spare parts, and all that. That's a long-term contract, and those are in millions, if not a billions of dollars. It's not a small change, and you're right. The Philippines will be better served by using that money to rebuild its infrastructure, to improve on its education, healthcare, and so forth, and help average Filipino. I'm not talking about a handout here. I'm talking
Mhm.
about creating the foundation on which the economy will sort of thrive. And if you have a neighbor like China, wouldn't it make more sense to reach out to them and say, hey, can you guys help us? You are richer than us and so forth. Can you help us out? I'm sure China will help. There is no doubt. But if Philippines embark on these initiatives, it's not going to bode well for the Philippines. What the Filipino people needs to understand, and this is my message to them as an American looking outside in, we are not we don't care for Philippines. We don't care defending the Philippines or any other country. What we care about is selling weapons.
Mm.
So to us, if there are more tensions, it's better for the MIG, the military industrial complex in the US. We'll make more money on that. And this is what the Philippine people needs to understand. And they have the right to pressure the leadership by reversing course,
Mm.
because the leader is a representative of his or her own people. You don't represent your own interest. You put the welfare of people first before yours. And I think takes us back, Anna, to the beginning. This is why I think they wanted to impeach Sara Duterte.
Mm.
I think this is why the push for this is to prevent her from becoming the president, because if she will be serving the people, not the elites in Philippines. I am a little familiar with the elites inside the Philippine political establishment. We used to deal with them in Washington behind closed doors and so forth. And it's about time. It's about time. The second thing is, it's just my opinion on this from a security perspective. For Philippines to acquire this system, both Typhoon and the THAAD, it's going to push the region into instability. Mark my word on it. We've seen it before. It will happen again. And especially when you look at into the right here on the map, on the South China Sea, all that region, China's not going to tolerate having those kind of systems being on the Filipino soil. Why? Because they are within reach to China's not going to allow it. The same arguments I can make about Taiwan. China will not allow the US to put in some sort of advanced systems there. So Philippine leadership needs to think.